Step by step on business. That's on my mama, watch me spin on me and split, now I can't feel it. We in the trap, we sold the city on my biddy. Take these diamonds off and show you how we lit it.
Welcome back to another episode of the Florida Forum Podcast. As you know, I'm your host, Khalil. With me today, I got my boy, Daywan.
Let's go. Episode 35. Let's get it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Dennis couldn't be with us here today. He says because of finals. I think he ducking that smoke because his team got smacked, but he don't want to talk about it. But, you know, he got finals and stuff this week, so he's studying all that other stuff. So he's going to be taking care of his business. But, you know, we still got to run through, you know, these games. We got 6 games to recap from week 14 that we really got to talk about. Then we also going to talk about who do you think will win the NFC. Follow that up with the college football war thoughts, give our thoughts and opinions on, you know, the wars that was given out this past weekend. But last but not least, we got to talk about the Lakers winning the NBA East in-season tournament and give our thoughts on that as well. Without further ado, take it away, Daywan.
All right, let's get it. NFL Week 14. You already know what we do, man. We go over this every week. So let's give our best 6 games this time what we're going to talk about. We're going to kick it off with the NFC East showdown that went down in Jerry's World. Dak and Dallas, they handled business. They took care of the Eagles at home by a score of 33-13, to where the Cowboys, they honestly had control of the game from the beginning. And my question to you is, are these back-to-back losses by the Philadelphia Eagles, are they concerning for you moving forward for the rest of the season?
I want to hear you go first on this one. I just want to hear your thoughts and your opinions on this one before I go.
So you instigating. But you know I'm not biased.
No, I just want to hear your thoughts and your opinions.
Okay, yeah, I don't mind going first. I love football. I know my team played horrible yesterday. Honestly, last game against Niners, I expected them to lose this game. And if y'all saw Friday's episode, on episode 34, I said the Eagles were. I said this. I don't see us sweeping Dallas. I never see us sweeping Dallas. These games always either go down to the wire or one team blows out the other. That's how it's always been throughout the history when the Eagles face the Cowboys. Honestly, though, this was just bad all around by the Eagles on every aspect of the football. Offense, defense, and special teams. It was just bad. I mean, besides Aubrey knocking down field goals, he accounted for 15 of the Dallas Cowboys' 33 points. But besides that, the Eagles defense, where was y'all at all night? Penalties, lack of execution, couldn't get to the quarterback really. We only had like 2 sacks, but it was just bad. Y'all could. What was that? James Bradbury. You're bad. Like, I had you as top 10 corner going to the year based off of your second team All-Pro last year, but that was off of the strength you made All-Pro last year. This year, you look like you should be traded. Like, I don't know why we re-signed you. Like, you look bad. And then the offense. The offense is so stale. It's so trite. I don't know what Brian Johnson's doing. Maybe we need to bring in somebody else next year, but Brian Johnson, I don't know how he's not fired by now. We motioned like 31%. That's like the lowest in the NFL. Last year, we motioned a lot and opened up the passing game and made Jalen have his post-snap reads much better. And I'm not going to put this loss 100% on Jalen. I mean, we just couldn't execute. Every time we got a jog going, we'll turn the ball over or stall out or get a penalty or punt it. It's out of those. I don't know what happened to run game. We did not run the ball that much last night. When we did run the ball, it was slightly effective, but we stopped running the ball. The Eagles keep trying to make Jalen Hurts a pocket passer. He's not a pocket passer. But all in all, this is just a bad game by the Eagles. Changes got to happen. Things got to wake up. This team has to wake up. I mean, they have 4 games left. Those 4 games can be easy. They're all winnable games, but who knows? This defense is playing bad. So we got the Seahawks next Monday night. Let's see how the Eagles rebound after that big ass loss.
Not gonna lie, this is concerning. And the reason is not because y'all lost. I don't care about the loss. You know, teams gonna lose games. Y'all gonna lose football games at the end of the day. It's more about how y'all lost. Y'all got smoked by 2 teams and it wasn't close. Like, if you want to go back to the 49ers game, y'all offense only scored 13 points. I don't care about that last touchdown. By the time you scored that last touchdown, they was playing off coverage. It was
over.
You know, the game was already over. The game was out of hand. And then you want to look at this game, the offense only scored 6 points. The other 7 came from a scoop and score fumble from Jalen Carter. So I am worried. Ball security has been an issue for me all season long with you guys. I've been mentioning that all year. With Jalen Hurts and everybody else. Jalen Hurts fumbled, then Devontae Smith fumbled, and AJ Brown's fumbled. Like, it was just a trickle-down effect. one thing after another. Y'all really couldn't get anything going. And like you kind of mentioned, you guys only motion 31% of the time, and it seems like y'all only motioning to get AJ Brown away from Stephon Diggs in this game. If I was looking at it correctly, that's the only person I really seen going motion.
It's
I
not
mean,
the case.
I'm not
People put their best receivers. People put their best receiver in the slot all the time. You see
no, it's
Jefferson
not
going
even
slot.
it's not even that. It's just
Hopkins goes in the slot. Let's
I feel like
debunk that.
it wasn't that. It was y'all wasn't motioning for a threat. Like when you watch Miami playing teams like that, they motion that person that's going in motion is a threat. You know, catch a jet pass, catch a screen pass, something like that. We know AJ Brown is not going to do that. Like that's the main person y'all been putting in motion. I'm like, okay, like that does not do anything for me. And then it's also y'all got pushed around for 2 weeks,
Big time.
pushed around. Like Dallas won the line of scrimmage. They established a dominance at the line of scrimmage, and y'all have no answer for it. Don't get me wrong. Y'all only gave up 2 sacks, but they pressured y'all a lot. When they sent the zero blitz, Jalen Hurts looked like he had no answer for the zero blitz. He looked rattled, and the book is out on him. You know, Nick Bosa said it last week, but you know, people are like, oh yeah, that's just the 49ers, whatever the case may be. But if you keep Jalen Hurts in the pocket, it minimizes a lot of what he brings to the table. You see it, and he looks uncomfortable just staying in the pocket. He looks indecisive, like he doesn't trust his eyes at this point. He's better when he's on the move and stuff like that. So I think that's the issue as well. Y'all still gonna win the games because y'all are a good football team. It's not like y'all trash, but there's a lot of things that need to be addressed, especially when it comes to that defense. Y'all rate bottom in a lot of stuff. 28th in opponents points per game, 30th in red zone percentage, last in third down percentage. So y'all not even getting off the field. So y'all not even helping y'all offense get into a rhythm because y'all can't get off the field. 31st in touchdown to interception ratio. Y'all not taking away the ball like y'all did in the past. And I mentioned it before. Like I did not trust y'all DBs. Like you mentioned, you put Bradbury at your top 10. I was like, bro, he's not a top 10 corner. He's a product of that pass rush that y'all had a year ago that had 72 sacks. When you only got to cover for 2-3 seconds, it's easy. But when you need to cover for longer than that, they can't do it. It seemed like they got whatever they want. Dak said, I could have played better. We could have put up 50 in this game. And I believe him. Because it's some of it, they killed themselves with penalties because Dallas still seem to can't get out the way with their own penalties. And, you know, he just missed a couple of throws because there was a few drives where they got field goals where, you know, he hit CeeDee Lamb or he hit Brandon Cooks or Michael Gallup. That's the drive is still going. So I'm concerned. I think y'all just need to go back to the drawing board, change some things up. But I don't know, man. That defense is just not good. It hasn't been good all year, and I don't see that changing.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to the next one. Between these two teams, it was always a battle at Arrowhead, and it was another one yet again on Sunday. As the Buffalo Bills, they finally get their footing. They defeated the Kansas City Chiefs 20-17. And my question to you is, does this loss hurt the Chiefs' number one seed implications to finish out the season?
Yes. When you look at they're 2 games back with the Ravens, who are 10-3. Miami is 9-3. They're playing on Monday Night Football right now. So those 2 teams pretty much control their own destiny. You luckily, you know, Ravens playing that AFC North, so you know that's always going to be a battle there. I think they still got 2 games in that division. And then they still got to play the 49ers. So you may be good there. You got Miami, who still got to play Dallas. They got to play Buffalo again. So we'll see what happens there. You know, they may get a chance to jump up again. But being honest, with this Chiefs team, I'm concerned at this point. You know, and earlier in the season, I was like, it's Mahomes. They'll figure it out, everything else. But the receivers got 33 drops on a year. That leads the NFL by far.
Like, that's a lot.
At the end of the day, like, Mahomes is trying to do all he can, and Mahomes is not playing his best football. At the end of the day, I'm not going to say he's out there, you know, playing his best football, but his receivers not helping him out at all. Kadarius Toney, he is who he is at this point. Like, he was a first-round pick, and he got traded year or 2 for a third-round pick. Like, there's a reason why, you know, a team trades off a first-round pick within his second year. It's not by coincidence. Sky Moore, he hasn't taken that next leap. You got MVS, can't catch a deep ball for some reason. Travis Kelce is all you got. And that's simply not
Kelty,
enough.
even Kelty looks like he's slowed down though. Like he looks like he's beat up and slowed down though. He doesn't miss a beat. He still get his catches and yaks and everything. But he not his average depth per target and his yak isn't as like it used to be. Like he looks like he even like slowed down and stuff. So it's like I don't know.
I feel like, when there's no other threat, it's easier to key in on Travis Kelce as well. It's like, even like, I mean, Rashid Rice is coming on, but they need more help, bro. It's very concerning. They definitely probably, if I had to bet on it, they will be going on the road this playoffs and playing their first playoff game on the road. I'm concerned. I'm not gonna lie.
A lot of people, and I love Patrick Mahomes. He's arguably the best quarterback in the NFL, but this year he has not been an elite quarterback. A lot of these wins, they've been getting by. And a lot of these losses, they've been bad losses, like really bad losses. And I know people gonna say, "Oh, well, the first game, this, and then this, and no, it's no. They're 8-5. They're still in the division, but it's not by much. The Denver Broncos are literally on their tail. And I talked about the Broncos a couple weeks ago, but hey, the Broncos just not. Let's not give them no respect. Well, Khalil doesn't give them no respect. Let's just say that. But the Chiefs have looked very, very concerning. I'm not gonna lie. This offense, it looks like they're missing beats. Like I just said to Khalil, Travis Kelce looks like he's beat up a bit. He's still doing what he does. He's still doing, but it's not. It doesn't look the same. The receivers, Mahomes, he has no trust in him. He's gonna say what he wants at the press conference, how confident he is, and how he's taking accountability for himself. But deep down inside, he knows he doesn't trust these receivers outside of Travis Kelce. I mean, Pacheco didn't play last night, but Edwards-Helaire, he's okay, but he's not really the team's RB1 anymore. Pacheco took that spot. The defense did all they could do. They did all they could do. Josh Allen had a solid game. Stephon Diggs, they strapped him. Darius Sneed strapped him down. But honestly, this came down to not getting the Bills off the field when it mattered. And again, the receivers with the miscues. And then all in all, this is my last thing I'm going to say about this game. That Kadarius Toney, bro, just like Khalil said, there was a reason why he was traded in year 2 as a first-round pick after being drafted by the Giants. He's the reason why. Because this man just can't get it right. And everybody was raving about him. Oh, Kadarius Toney, he's fast. He's going to be a difference maker on the Chiefs. This guy has drop balls. He's causing team games, especially in this game. And he's just not that. He's not good. He's more of a gadget player than he is a wide receiver. If he was on another team, he probably would just be a special teamer. That's it. But that was clearly a penalty. Him being offsides on offense. He checked with the line judge. But I mean, in the NFL, the line judge they don't tell you to back up or nothing. You as a receiver are supposed to know. Like you're supposed to line yourself with the ball and line yourself with the ref on the sideline. And the fact that Patrick Mahomes and the Andy Reid are all crying about this call as if it wasn't the right call, as if the Chiefs haven't been helped for years, winning playoff games and Super Bowls, not to mention last year's Super Bowl, which a lot of people are still questioning. But I'm just not gonna think about that because that still hurts to this day as an Eagles fan. But Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, and the Chiefs organization, you guys got to be much more accountable, saying that was a horrible call. That was the correct call. Like this, and the Chiefs, they've been helped for years by the refs. So the refs are finally doing right by the Chiefs and calling the correct calls, and now they're complaining about it. But
I mean,
all in all, the Chiefs,
I feel like that's a catch 22 because the same way you could say, like, and he was definitely offside. But then you look at last week, the obvious defensive pass interference that wasn't called. So I could see why they're frustrated with the refs and like some of the calls because it's like, and I feel like Mahomes is just way too nice. He needs to, and I'm not saying he's not holding his receivers accountable behind closed door, but at some point you got to stop being so nice in these press conferences and call these players out, and that's what you got to do. Like, so I don't know, man. I don't see it getting better at this point. They are who they are.
They are who they are. And it's crazy as well. I want to say this. A lot of people, I'm not saying this as an Eagles fan, but a lot of people are calling the Eagles frauds, but y'all have nothing to say about the Chiefs who are 8-5. They're more fraudulent than the Eagles right now. But they are very concerning. Both of the teams that went to the Super Bowl last year are playing at a concerning level right now. All right, but on to the next one. NFC West showdown. 49ers officially complete the season sweep against the Seattle Seahawks. They defeated Seattle on Sunday, 28-16. My question is, are the 49ers not only the team to beat in the NFC, but in the NFL as a whole?
Yes. I mean, when you look at it, the two best teams in the NFL right now are the Cowboys and the 49ers. When you look at it, just based off the eye test, I think every team in the AFC has questions. You've seen what, 49ers and Cowboys just did to Philly. So, in my opinion, like, they're the team to beat. They're the best team in the NFL right now. They're playing their best football right now, and I'm not gonna get into too much, but the weapons that they got is been amazing. Christian McCaffrey, Brandon Ayuk, Deebo Samuels, George Kittle. Their run pass game balance is amazing. They stretch the field vertically and horizontally. Quick screens, quick passes, then they hit you over the top in a plethora of ways. And then they could play defense too on the back end. So I think they are the best team in the NFL right now. When you just look at the landscape, I don't see another team that's really comparable to the 49ers. Like I said, I feel like it's 49ers, Cowboys, and then everybody else. You can start having your discussions who behind them too. But I think those two are the top two teams, and 49ers being the top one team.
Honestly, about 6 weeks ago, the Niners, well, not including the bye week, the Niners were on a 3-game losing streak. They were going into their bye week, lost them 3 straight. We had so many questions about Brock Purdy. And Brock Purdy is right now your top. He's probably number 1 in MVP voting or for the odds in MVP. He really is. But a lot of people still,
which I called a couple weeks ago. Y'all thought I was crazy.
Yeah, we're talking about the 49ers right now. We talked about Dallas already.
I'm just telling you who number 1.
Talking about Dallas already.
I'm just telling you who number 1.
We talked about Dallas already. Dak is having a great year though. I give him that. Dak is having a great year, but somebody didn't include Dak in their top 10.
That was Dennis.
I know he's not here. Yeah. He'll watch this episode. He'll
put Derek Carr in there.
Yeah, Derek Carr. But on to the Niners, bro. Like, they are the best team in the NFL. And I said this before the season started. And I said this after week 1, when somebody was yelling at it with me saying the Niners didn't have the best defense in the NFL. A couple weeks ago, you could say they didn't because they were in a slump, but they have won 5 straight games. They're on a tear right now. This defense is impeccable. They're relentless. They're getting to the quarterback. They're forcing turnovers. They made Drew Lock throw 2 picks yesterday. They got to him a lot. And bringing Chase Young and Randy Gregory really helps. I mean, they're doing great. And you already got Nick Bosa, Fred Warner. You got Jair Brown, shout out to Trent, New Jersey. He had a pick yesterday. And Travarius Ward, he's playing awesome. Back-to-back weeks, he's playing against physical receivers. He played great against Metcalf yesterday. He played great against A.J. Brown last week. The Niners are the team to beat right now. But let's talk about Brock Purdy. And I'm not the biggest Brock Purdy fan at all. I'm really, really not. I think he just has a lot of skill, talent around him. I think Shanahan's offense is the reason why he's going so crazy. But you got to give credit where credit is due. Brock Purdy had a phenomenal game the last couple weeks. He had a pick yesterday, but he went 19-27, 368, and 2 touchdowns. McCaffrey on the ground, 145. He didn't even score yesterday. He got a 145 though. And Deebo been standing on business these last couple games. Honestly, this whole year, Deebo has been standing on business. I'm not gonna lie. Now, I did question Khalil when he put Deebo in his top 10. I did, Khalil. I'm not gonna lie. But Deebo is definitely right now a top 10 receiver in his league. Like, if you're saying Deebo not a top 10 receiver in the league, you're tripping. Like, bro, he has 45 catches, 739, and 4 touchdowns. That's solid. For all the weapons on that offense, that's really good for Deebo Samuel. And most of his touchdowns have came within the last couple of games. So this offense is crazy. And George Kittle, he's turned the clock back a bit. Ayuk, he's really coming into his own. He's definitely on the cusp of being a top 15 receiver, in my opinion. You could argue he is top 15 right now. But Niners, they are definitely a team to beat in the NFL as a whole, not just in the NFC. I think I said this before the season started. I had Niners as my NFC favorite. Y'all can go back and watch the videos. I said this. I had them going to the Super Bowl over my Philadelphia Eagles. And they found their footing after that 3-game losing streak, and they've won 5 or 6 straight. So, hey, they are.
I mean, when you talk about Brock Purdy, it helps that your running game is average 7.5 yards per carry in a game. I mean, when you're running at that clip, and Christian McCaffrey averaged 9.1 by itself. I mean, when you running the football that efficiently, it opens so much up in the passing game that those are just a lot more easier. Those linebackers are coming down to try to stop the run. The play action game is working so much better. But I've said what my issue is with Brock Purdy is not if he could play the game of football. I know he can play the game of football. Is when it matters, can he win you a game? Can he pull you out of a slump, pull you out of a comeback? and win you a football game. And that's what I haven't seen yet. And so
But this is my thing about Brock Purdy, though. They've been playing so good that they haven't been able to show you that because they've been leading in a lot of these games.
I mean,
Can't
yeah,
blame them for that.
but like I said, that's just a product of what you got around. Like there hasn't been a team that's been able to put pressure on you. Like Philly, I guess Philly came close, but Philly settled for 2 field goals instead of 2 touchdowns, so we never got that answer. So I mean, until you like, there's not many teams that can compete. There's only a very select few teams that can actually, compete with this team on both sides of the ball. And so
Well,
until
the two teams that we think they can compete with these teams, they blew out both of those teams. They blew out the Eagles last week, and then they blew out Dallas in like week 4, week 5. So
I will say this, Dallas does look like a different team than that team. So
that's true. I can agree with that.
we'll see what happens then. But like I said, until I can see Brock Purdy, be the reason why his team win, I I got my hesitations.
Well, he's top 3 in MVP bets right now. You gotta put some on. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not saying I'm all in on him, but I'm moving some of my chips towards the table. But let's move on to the next one, man. We saw a game go into overtime, but it ended on overtime for a game-winning punt return for a touchdown by Tylan Wallace as he helped the Baltimore Ravens defeat the Los Angeles Rams in a rainy game, 37-31. My question is, does this win for Ravens put Lamar back into the MVP conversation?
I'm gonna say no. Reason being, don't get me wrong, Lamar is having a good season. That team is looking good. They're starting to find a footing and everything, all of the above. But when you really look at, what Lamar is doing, and you gotta compare Lamar against Lamar's past health, compared to his MVP season when he had about 50 touchdowns. This season, he only has 21 total touchdowns, 16 passing. So when I look at it from that standpoint, no, I just don't think he's playing at the level of Dak Prescott right now, or even Brock Purdy. I think those are 1 and 2. You take your pick on who you got for MVP at this point. Right now, Dak Prescott is the betting favorite, so I'm gonna go based off him. I don't see him playing the same caliber of football as Dak Prescott at this point. This was Lamar's only second 300 passing yard game of the season. So take that for what it may be, but nah, I don't think Lamar is MVP. It was a good win against a Rams team that is okay. I mean, I really don't think much of the Rams team when you really look at it. They probably got bottom 10 roster in the NFL. Matt Stafford had an amazing game. Kyron Williams, like anytime he's been in the lineup, has been amazing. He went for over 100 yards again, but Cooper Kupp went off 115 and a touchdown. But nah, I wouldn't call him an MVP candidate at this point. Yeah, I would even have I don't even think he's been playing the best in the AFC. I think the best quarterback in the AFC so far this year has been Tua. When you look at what he's been doing, some of it is because of Tyreek Hill, but I think Tua has probably been playing the best out of any AFC quarterback.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna agree with you. I mean, Lamar, he had his stint, and we were where he was in that conversation. Because he was, let's not lie, he really was. And I'm gonna say this right quick before I move on. I told you this Rams team is gonna be competitive. McVay gonna have these boys ready to play. And they took Baltimore, who is currently the number 1 seed in the AFC. They took Baltimore to overtime. Matt Stafford finally had a good game. Like you said, he's been having a good couple games the last couple weeks. Wish we would have seen more of it this year. But Kyron Williams, he's just great, like you said. But these Rams receivers, Nakua and Kupp, I don't know if you still have the jury out for Puka Nakua, but he's still doing great. He's still gonna do it. And Cooper Kupp, it hasn't looked like he hasn't missed a beat after coming back from injury. But let's get back to talking about the Ravens. This win, I don't think it puts Lamar in the MVP conversation because he had a great game besides that one turnover. But they should have blew the Rams out with this. That's what I'm saying. They should have blew the Rams out. And it's football. It's the NFL. Every game's not gonna be a blowout. Sometimes you expect it to be a blowout and it doesn't happen. You get competitive games like this where underwhelming teams are taking top teams in the AFC in the conference to the limits. But this was a game that the Ravens should have lost in certain points of the game. But the Rams just couldn't finish. But I'm gonna agree with you. Lamar's having a great year, but his touchdown totals and stuff, At one point in the season, you could say he was an MVP candidate, probably a top 3, but as of right now, he's outside the top 3, so I'm gonna say no. But overall, good win by Baltimore. I'm not taking nothing from them. All right, on to the next game. AFC showdown. Cleveland, they defended their home turf as Joe Flacco and the Browns, they defeated Trevor Lawrence and the Jags 31-27. And my question to you, Khalil, is are these back-to-back losses by Jacksonville Jaguars to opposing teams having backup quarterbacks, is it concerning for the Jags to hang on to the AFC South?
I'm gonna say no. I'm not worried. I'm not surprised about what happened when you look at the Cleveland Browns. They have only lost one game at home. They've been very good at home. This defense has been very, very good at home. They cause problems for anybody. So I'm really not worried. You have
Hold on, wait, but this is the MVP we're talking about. This is your MVP.
when did I say he was the MVP?
You said Trevor. You picked Sheelon to be MVP.
I picked him, but yes, at this point,
you gotta stick with it.
He's not. It's not. It's not close. He's not going to win it.
Oh, okay. All right. My bad, truth teller. My bad.
I picked wrong. Did anybody see Dak Prescott being number 1 at this point?
No.
Okay, then. Okay.
I'm just saying.
All was wrong. No matter
your MVP looked really good yesterday. I'm just saying.
Bro, you act like Cleveland is not one of the top 3 defenses in the NFL, and you got Trevor Lawrence who's coming off a high ankle sprain. I don't even know how he played in this game because that's like a 4 to 6 week injury. So the fact that he even played in this game was surprising to me. And Cleveland tested out his mobility, which he wasn't that mobile in this game. They sent a lot of pressure at him, a lot of blitzes. Pretty much was the difference in this game. But if you really want to look at something, look at that defense that allowed 31 points to Joe Flacco. I'm talking about Joe Flacco, bro. Like, it's not Joe Flacco from 10 years ago. This is 38-year-old Joe Flacco who had 311 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 interception on his defense. So if you want to look at something, look at that. Don't get me wrong, Trevor Lawrence did not play his best games. He did have 3 interceptions. You know, he got to clean up those turnovers. Run game, I think Travis Etienne got to be better in the run game. He only had 35 rushing yards. So, I mean, you could point the blame at Trevor Lawrence, but he's not the only one to blame for this loss. I think there's enough blame to go around for everybody. Trevor Lawrence got to clean up the turnovers. He got to run a football better. That defense pretty much let Joe Flacco throw all over the field. So I think that's really what came down to the difference, you know. So it's depending on where you rank, this AFC is wide open to me, in my opinion. All these teams have flaws. So, you know, I don't think they're out of it at all. Like I said, every team has their issues, their gripes, but every team can also win a game. So I think they're still right there in it. And we just seen what the Texans did. They lost to Zach Wilson and the Jets. Zach Wilson had a career day on that Texans team. CJ Stroud did not have a good game. You know, he got knocked out late in the 4th, but the time he was playing, it really wasn't that good. He lost Nico Collins in the first quarter. He didn't come back. He's already down. But this division is still Jaguars' division to lose at this point.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you. I mean, I think T-Law is still a top 10 quarterback. I mean, just one bad game doesn't defy him. I mean, he has had more than just one bad game this year. But the Browns defense is a top 5 defense in this league. And Joe Flacco, dude, the Browns are a good team at home. And Joe Flacco comes in and just wins 2 games for the Browns. This is crazy. Like, this is really good by Cleveland. I salute them for that. But, I mean, back-to-back losses by the Jags to backup quarterbacks for 2 weeks in a row, AFC North quarterbacks at that, is a little bit concerning, but we know, like, this is just the nature when your quarterback throws 3 picks and your running game can't get going. Now, Jacksonville, they made it close at the end. They made it really close at the end. They only lost by 4 points, but those turnovers early and they start off really slow, it prevented them from winning this game. But definitely, I agree with you. T-Law has to be better cleaning up the turnovers. He shouldn't be playing right now, especially with that high ankle sprain. But we got to see more from Calvin Ridley. He got shut down pretty well yesterday. Cleveland defense had to answer for him. Shout out to Jim Schwartz for that. But all in all, if Jacksonville didn't start off too slow and with the turnovers, they probably would have had a chance to win this game, especially the way they came back on this game. I thought it was over, but they made it really close. But shout out to Cleveland, man. They're doing this all without a lot of injuries. They're starting quarterback, they're starting running back. They have injuries all on both sides of the football, and they're still getting it done. And they're not too far behind Baltimore in the division. Still 4 weeks left, but the Jags, like you said, this is their division to lose. Hopefully, we'll see CJ Stroud. I mean, I think he probably has a concussion or whiplash because against the Jets yesterday, he played horrible. But the Jags can win this division. The Colts got blew up by the Bengals yesterday, and the Titans, they're not going to make the playoffs. But I think the Jags definitely can hang on, but they just got to be better because once come playoffs, those 3 picks against teams like this, they're going to be really crucial.
And you mentioned Calvin Ridley. He had 4 catches on 13 targets. He has to be better given that Christian Kirk is not in the lineup. So he definitely has to step up his pace. Evan Ingram did. He had 11 catches for 95 yards and 2 touchdowns. But yeah, Calvin Ridley also needs to be better and help out his quarterback when you know your quarterback is hurt and really shouldn't even be playing at this point.
Sam. All right, last game we're going to cover. All right, NFC North showdown went down yesterday as the Chicago Bears. They defeated the Detroit Lions 28-13 at home, defending Soldier Field. My question is, how embarrassing was that loss yesterday for the Detroit Lions? And are they actually true contenders in the NFC?
No. And I first guessed that. I didn't think they were earlier in the season, even when they were running off these games and people were talking about, look at the brand new Lions and all that. I was like, yeah, they're winning games, but this don't look like Cowboys, Phillies, 49ers. It doesn't look like that. They don't look as good as those teams. I'm not going to trust this team when it matters to, get the job done. Jared Goff had another piss poor game against the Bears. He had 3 interceptions in the first one. He had 2 more in this one. 1 touchdown. He only threw for 35 pass attempts. He only had 161 yards passing, 57% completion percentage against a very mediocre Bears defense, in my opinion. This Bears defense is not all that. And the Bears went out there and blanked them in the second half. Couldn't score, couldn't do anything in the second half. And when you look at what they've been doing the last few weeks, they had the shootout against LA, the Chargers, which, right now doesn't look that good given what their record is and what that team looks like. Brandon Staley is probably out of there after this year.
I hope so.
They had the Bears game, the first Bears game that they should have lost, and they found a way to come back and win that. Then you go out there and get smoked on Thanksgiving. Yes, it's a 7-point loss, but if you watch that game was never close. Never thought the Lions had a chance of even winning that game. Then last week, you beat the Saints, but the Saints put up 28 points on you, and Jameis Winston almost led a comeback, and you almost could have threw away that game. And then you come out here and you lose 28-13 to a Bears team that's, don't even know who their quarterback going to be next year. They should draft one or they want to keep Justin Fields. So, yes, I am very concerned. I don't think – who do you think they're going to go out there and beat? Like, I know you don't think they're going to beat the 49ers and the Cowboys. You're an Eagles fan. Are you worried about this team if y'all play them in the playoffs? Exactly. So, I'm not – this is a team that at best can make a divisional round, but, they kind of – I said this earlier. They remind me of the Giants or the Vikings. Take your pick, from last year. Take your pick, whichever team you want to pick. But I have them in the same category as the Giants and the Vikings from a year ago.
I'm not going to lie. Before the season started, I did say the team was going to win the division. Now, I'm not going to say I was on the hype train. I just said that this division, the Lions will win this division because they're the best team in this division.
I'm going to say I did have the Vikings winning this division, but Kirk Cousins went out, Justin Jefferson. So there's a reason why.
Even before Kirk got hurt, the Lions were winning. They were in the driver's seat. The Vikings were playing bad this year. But the Lions, like Khalil said a couple episodes ago, like we all said, Lions, they are who we thought they were. Those last handful of games, like Khalil mentioned, they've all been games that the Lions either lost, bad, like not blowout, but they had lost or they should have lost. And it's kind of concerning because, like, right now this team is the number 3 seed in the NFC conference. So if the playoffs started today, the Lions will be playing the Vikings. And maybe the Vikings are iffy right now as well. They're not playing the best football. Josh Jacobs got benched. I mean, Jefferson got hurt again yesterday. So I don't even know if that will even be a good playoff matchup. They're probably going to be
I can't believe y'all really questioning, can Josh Dobbs take Kirk Cousins' spot?
I didn't say that. That was not me. I did not say that at all.
I can't believe y'all was asking that, but
bro, that was not me. Like, you act like I agreed to that. Stop it. But talking about the Lions, this Bears team is horrible. And you let Justin Fields go out there and do his thing. 223 in the air, 58 on the ground and touchdown in the air. DJ Moore killed you. He had a touchdown on the ground and a touchdown in the air. Cole Kmet did his thing. The Lions, bro, this is just bad. If you're trying to be an NFC contender and compete with teams like Dallas, Philly, or Niners, you're not competing against those top 3 teams in the NFC. Like, the Lions, They're probably gonna be a first or second round exit this year. Most likely a second or first, depending on whoever they play in the first round at home, because they're gonna win a division. But this is bad by the Detroit Lions.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at it, Detroit's probably going to have the number 3 seed, so they be playing the number 6 seed, given on who that is going to be, whether it's Green Bay, Minnesota, the Rams if they could sneak in, Seattle. So I mean, you still got Atlanta, like New Orleans. They're all 6 and 7, so they're all right there knocking on the door. But not really sold on any of the Lions doing anything or being a contender for a Super Bowl.
All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for NFL Week 14. Let us know what you guys think about Week 14 in the comment section. Let us know what y'all think about the games that we cover. If there's a game that we did not cover and that you want to talk about, leave it in the comment section below. Give us your thoughts and opinions about what y'all see from Week 14. Let us know any takes you guys got in the comment section. We'll react to them or we will reply to them. All right, moving on to the next topic tonight. We're going to stick with the NFL. I just got a quick question. We're going to just run through this right quick. The NFC is right now is top heavy. The conferences, you got the Niners, Eagles, and Cowboys all tied at 10-3. And then you got the Detroit Lions who are at 9-4. My question to you, Khalil, is who will finish the season as the number 1 seed in the NFC? Who do you think?
Be honest, I think right now 49ers control their own destiny to get the number 1 seed and have home field advantage throughout. So right now I have the 49ers, but I'm not going to lie. Eagles have the easiest path to, get that number 1 seed back when you look at who they got. Eagles got Giants twice, Cardinals twice, and you got Seahawks next week on Monday Night Football with Geno with a groin injury. So we don't know what that team's going to look like come Monday night. Maybe Geno plays, maybe he don't. We'll see when that time comes. And then when you look at 49ers on the other hand, they still got to play the Ravens in a couple weeks on Monday Night Football on Christmas. So we're going to see what that looks like. That's going to be a big test for both teams, especially the Ravens. But they still got to get past the Ravens, and I'm not sleeping on the Rams either. Divisional games are always hard, especially McVay and Shanahan. They got a lot of history, so I think that would be a close game as well. And then when you look at Dallas, I just feel like Dallas still needs Philly to lose, just because the simple fact that Cardinals loss is going to come back to bite them because of their conference record. Philly would have a better conference record because the other team that Philly lost to was the Jets, who are not in the conference. And then when you look at who the Cowboys got to play, they still got to go to Buffalo. They go to Buffalo next week. They go to Miami the week after. They still got the Lions on their schedule. So we gonna have a lot. We're gonna get a lot of answers to if this Cowboys team is really legit and really is the team to beat. But Eagles are sitting the most prettiest given who they got coming up next. But I think the 49ers, went out and get that number 1 seed.
I'm not going to lie. We're on the same page, bro. I got the Niners as well. And I'm sticking to what I said before the season started. I got the Niners being the number 1 seed, and they winning the NFC this year. But let's talk about the number 1 seed for now. The winning the NFC is far-fetched right now. We got a month and a half to see that. But like I said, you bring up the schedules, and I was literally going to do the same exact thing, but you beat me to it. Yes, the Eagles have the easiest schedule out of these 4 teams remaining. You got the Seahawks next, you got the Giants, you got the Cardinals, you got the Giants again. All the other teams have harder schedules. So, like you said, the Eagles are sitting nice right now. But with this defense, bro, any team can get this defense on the Eagles. The Niners, they probably can win out for the rest of the year and probably just remain and hold on to the NFC for number 1 seed. We'll see. But I think Niners got it. And then Cowboys, you bring them that Buffalo and Miami game back to back. Those are going to be crucial. Those are going to be brutal games. You got Buffalo and Miami the week after. Those are 2 good AFC East teams, let alone AFC teams. I mean, Buffalo, they're 7-6, but it came off of a big win against the Chiefs yesterday. But the Lions, I don't really care about them. Honestly, it's just down to the Cowboys, Niners, and Eagles, in my opinion. The Lions are going to be the number 3 seed. That's just my prediction. I mean, anything can happen, but I don't see the Lions getting above the number 3 seed. But in my opinion, I feel like the Niners are going to finish the year off as the 1 seed in the NFC and have fun going to San Francisco. It's a tough place to play. It's a tough place to win at, especially when the defense, everybody's fired up in the crowd. They faithful to the Bay. I'm going with the Niners, man. I'm sticking with my preseason prediction. But ladies and gentlemen, let us know who y'all think will finish the season as the number 1 seed in the NFC. Again, there's 4 top-heavy teams in this conference. Again, Niners are leading it right now. They got the Cowboys, they got the
Stop
Lions, they got
saying
the Eagles.
4, bro. Stop saying 4. The Lions are not top heavy. Stop it.
Listen, bro, they're 9-4. They're the number 3 seed right now. I know, but they're kind of a iffy team, but still gotta respect it. But whoever y'all think is gonna finish the season as the number 1 seed in the NFC, leave that in the comment section below. All right, moving on to the next topic for tonight. College football awards. They occurred this past weekend. We saw some winners. We saw some reactions. We saw some surprises about whoever won these awards that we went over on the past episode. Now we're going to give our thoughts and reactions to the award winners this past weekend. So, hey, we're going to talk about our thoughts and reaction to whatever happened in the college football awards this weekend. My first thing first, I'm so happy that Jaden Daniels won the Heisman Trophy. It was much deserved. Yes, the LSU, they had a bad record this year. I thought LSU was going to finish within the top 15 this year, let alone top 10. But I did say before the season started, Jaden Daniels will be a Heisman finalist, and he was. I had Caleb Williams, Marvin Harrison Jr., and Jaden Daniels. 2 of those 3, they made it. Caleb Williams had a down year, whatever. But all in all, Jaden Daniels definitely deserved it. Now, for the Maxwell Award, I did have Jaden Daniels winning this one as well, but Dino was right. He picked Michael Penix Jr., and he got it. No, I'm sorry. I think Dino picked Jaden Daniels as well. But Michael Penix, I can see why he got it. I mean, this man was undefeated. He got to the number 2 seed, and he got the team to the college football playoff. Let alone he won his conference and beat Oregon twice. I mean, he had up and down year, especially towards the end of the year. A lot of those wins by Washington was very, very close. And he didn't play his greatest football, but when it mattered, Michael Penix Jr. showed up and showed out. Ollie Gordon II definitely deserved that running back award. He was definitely the best running back in the nation. He deserved to win that award, so I'm not even going to talk about that one. That's nothing to really debate or argue about. For the Blitnikoff Award, apparently Marvin Harrison Jr. beat Malik Neighbors by 1 vote to win the Blitnikoff. And I'm not going to lie, they got it right. That 1 vote really counted. It really mattered. I feel like Marvin Harrison Jr. definitely deserved. Why are you shaking your head, sir? He definitely deserved to win that award. Do you have it out for Ohio State? Can you reveal that right now? Like, do you have it out for Ohio State?
No, I do not. Okay, let me ask you this. Answer this. What did Marvin Harrison do better than Malik Neighbors this year? Like
he was much more impressive with a freshman quarterback. Kyle McCord was not the greatest.
McCord's not a freshman. He's a redshirt sophomore. He's been in college for 3 years.
Pretty much, he's a freshman. Let's be real. Pretty much, he's a freshman. Yes, he's a redshirt sophomore, but he pretty much is a freshman. But he did much more. He did much better, in my opinion. He was more impressive because he did it with a quarterback who wasn't that great this year. Like the numbers, if you look at Kyle McCord's stats, you're like, oh, he had a great year. But if you watch the Ohio State games, we all know he did not look the greatest this year. Yes, he led them to a lot of wins, but those wins, those games he played, a lot of them weren't that good. And he did it with less receptions. And he had the same amount of yards. That's impressive.
He didn't have the same. He had the same amount of yards per play. He didn't have the same amount of yards.
Marvin Harrison Jr. He's a better receiver than Malik Neighbors. Now,
so Michael, because I pretty much agree with everything. This is my only gripe. So let me dive into it. Right. So are we knocking the receiver because of who's throwing them the football?
No, not at all. Listen, Malik Neighbors had Jaden Daniels, the Heisman winner, like go crazy. Yes, Roma Dunze, he was in the running as well. He had a Heisman finalist as his quarterback. Marvin Harrison Jr. was a Heisman finalist himself, and he had a redshirt sophomore, technically a freshman, as his quarterback. And the Kyle McCord wasn't that great this year. Right when the season ended, he entered the transfer portal. He's ready to get about Ohio State. And Harrison Jr. he did it effortlessly this year. He did it effortlessly, 100%. So no, yes, Harrison Jr. deserved to win the Blitnikoff.
I mean, when I look at it, Malik Neighbors had more catches, more yards. They had the same amount of touchdowns. When I look at it, Malik Neighbors had more catches, more yards. They had the same amount of touchdowns. But when you look at, who had more 200 yards plus games, Malik Neighbors. When you look at who had more multiple touchdown games, it goes to Malik Neighbors. And I can't be like, oh yeah, but look who he had, on the opposite end or anything like that, because we didn't do that with anybody else. We didn't do that when Jerry Jeudy was out there playing with Henry Ruggs and them. We didn't do that when Jamar Chase was playing with Justin Jefferson and them. Had the Heisman winner as his quarterback. So what's the metric that we're going off of? Like, please let me know what's the metric that we went off of on this one. In my opinion, It's just
Harrison
Ohio
Jr.
State biasness. I have nothing against Ohio State. I have no issue with it.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, he hates Ohio State.
Why do I hate Ohio State? Because I picked Michigan to win the past 3 years and they did.
Listen, I don't know you don't like Ohio State. You're not wrong.
I just tell the truth.
Here we go.
The truth teller. The truth.
The truth teller. Here he is.
I just tell the truth. And, people don't like what I say in the moment, but then they realize, like, that's what comes true at the end of the day. So, like, I tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. I tell you this all the time, bro. And, I told you earlier this season, bro, you listen to me a lot more. Good things happen. You started to, and a lot of better things started happening with your picks and everything else.
Hey, don't do that, bro. Don't try to say don't try to sum me. Like, don't try to sum me like that. Like, oh, you finally
you just finally started to, understand where I was coming from and listen. That's all it is. It's just listening. People don't listen. People are stubborn, especially when it comes to their favorite teams and stuff like that. They don't like the truth. It's hard to hear, the truth about your team.
Hey, Dennis, he talking to you, bro.
But I'm telling you, all right?
Hey, Dennis, he talking to you 100%, bro.
But I mean, that's my only gripe. When you look at the Heisman, I thought it was out of Bo Nix and Jaden Daniels. Bo Nix did not play his best in the Pac-12 championship, which ultimately gave, the Heisman to Jaden Daniels, who balled out this season, had a game with 8 total touchdowns. Ollie Gordon was far and away the best running back in the league. When you look at, what he did on the field, the Maxwell Award went to Michael Penix. He had a pretty solid season. They had one of the best offenses in college football, so I respect that as well. No issue there. But like I said, my only thing is the Biletnikoff. I get it. Marvin Harrison is the flashy pick. Probably going to be top 3 pick in my opinion. He might go number 1, depending if the Bears, act right and try to, get, Justin Fields another receiver. But that's my only gripe with that.
You really 100% think that Malik Neighbors, that his numbers were more impressive. They were more eye-popping. But I think it's just more impressive that Harrison Jr.
Maybe he had a better season. It's not. I just thought he had a better season. Did Marvin Harrison have better flashes? Yes. Like the more flashier plays is Marvin Harrison, but the person who I think had the better season is Malik Neighbors.
Receivers in the FBS that had more catches, yards, touchdowns, all that, multiple 100-yard games, all that better than Harrison Jr. and Malik Neighbors. They were just more naturally exposed. But Harrison Jr. is definitely the best receiver in the nation. And I mean, yeah, he had less catches, he had less yards, and the same amount of touchdowns and everything. And he did that all with a mediocre quarterback, in my opinion, and Colin McCord. I mean, you had Jaden Daniels as a quarterback, and I know what you're gonna say. Yes, you in the past we didn't do that, but like we can't move the goalposts when it comes to Harrison Jr. winning this award. I think you think that Malik Neighbors should definitely win it. Hey, maybe I agree with you. I think I see what you're saying, but I'm sorry, that one vote, it really mattered. They got it right, bro. I agree. I think Harrison Jr. definitely won it. Like I said, all the other awards, I 100% agreed on. I mean, I got the Chuck Bednarik Award wrong. I thought Latu from UCLA was gonna win it, but Peyton Wilson, I did say on Friday's episode, I wouldn't be surprised if Peyton Wilson wins it because he was all over the field for NC State. I mean, he's a maniac. The reason why he didn't get as much exposure because NC State was trash. But hey, I'm happy that he won that award too. But all in all, I think they got the awards right. I'm not gonna lie. I think they got it right. It was a lot of close calls, but hey, they did their thing with the awards. But ladies and gentlemen, that is it for this topic for the college football season awards. Let us know in the comment section what you guys thought about the awards, whoever won these awards. Let us know your thoughts and opinions about that. Let us know if you feel like Malik Neighbors should have won the Biletnikoff Award. Let us know if you feel like somebody else should have won the Heisman or the Maxwell. Let us know what y'all think about all the awards. And let us know if there's any gripes you guys have with those awards. Leave that all in the comment section below. All right, last topic of the night. Moving on to the NBA. We saw the Los Angeles Lakers win the first ever NBA in-season tournament. LeBron James was your in-season tournament MVP, even though AD had a monster final game. My question to you, what are your overall thoughts about the in-season tournament? And then what was your takeaway from that final game? Like, what did you see? Like, what did it make you think about?
I give my thoughts on what I thought about the NBA in-season tournament. It was a lot better than people expected. I was actually one of the ones that was very optimistic. I like the idea of what they put out there.
I was not at all.
You was against it from the start. I was just like, it's going to bring some excitement to the season that, is genuinely not there. Because I'm being honest, like, yeah, I've been paying attention to basketball, but I've been paying attention a lot to this in-season tournament. And, it helped bring people to the forefront that a lot of people don't talk about, like Tyrese Halliburton. Let's be honest. If this tournament wasn't there, I think Tyrese Halliburton would be overshadowed. Like nobody would just pay attention to what he's been doing just because the
Facts.
simple fact, like it's just Indiana. They're not on national TV much, but they've been on national TV for the past couple weeks. I mean, for the past week, with these tournament games, so it shines some light on them, and how good he is and what they could be. But to dive into the game, when you look at what happened, the better team won, the more experienced team won. I didn't like what I seen from Tyrese Halliburton in this game. I think he was a little bit too passive. I think he was trying to pass the ball a little bit too much and not try to look for his shot and put the pressure on the defense. AD did what he was supposed to do, dominate, smaller opponents. He put Miles Turner into foul trouble once that happened. There was nobody else really. Isaiah Jackson is not big enough to, guard AD. But my thing is, like, I'm not expecting 40-20 from AD every night, but
Not at all.
Are we going to get this level of like dominance, like AD play with a chip on his shoulder? I don't know if like how long that's going to last. Like, is that going to be what it is, come playoff time or anything like that? You got to keep the same energy when you see Jokic. That's all I'm gonna say. But when you look at this Lakers team, like they're very experienced, very LeBron, AD, they've been there, they've done it. Like, and especially in a one game series, especially against Indiana, I thought they should win that. My real question with the Lakers is, when it comes to playoff time and you got to get 4 of these things, can you do it against the Suns, the Nuggets, and teams like that? That's yet to be desired. We have a long way to go. Got to see who's healthy, who's not, what these teams look like come that time. But all in all, LeBron had him a good game. He had 24, 11 rebounds. Austin Reeves had him his flu game. He had 28 off the bench. He was amazing. I think he gave them the spark that they needed off the bench early, keep this team rolling. But you also seen an inexperience in the Indiana Pacers team. Like, it was moments in the game is like, this team hasn't been here yet. They hasn't have to do anything, like haven't been on this stage, and when your star player is not, playing his best game, they don't have another player to pick up the slack. So I think that came down to it at the end of the day too. But all in all, it was a good tournament. I like what I see. I think this is something they should keep because, it brings excitement to, NBA early in the season when football is still going on.
Honestly, like you said in the beginning, I was not for this season tournament at all. I thought it was stupid. I thought it was a joke. I thought it was like a money grab, which it brought in more viewers and everything. I just did not see the point of it at all. But once this in-season tournament started, I was actually really intrigued about how hard these players were going. And some of these players are already making millions to hundreds of millions of dollars, carrying their franchises. They're all making a lot of money. With the fact that $500K, they was playing hard for $500K and a trophy. It was a big incentive for them. So actually, I like the in-season tournament. I think they should definitely continue this. This brought a lot of excitement to the season. I mean, the fact that it was in the beginning of the season, it got it out the way. It's over. It's whatever. So that was great. But let's just talk about the final game. This is a great game on the Lakers end. The experience definitely showed. And, me and Dennis, Khalil, you missed this episode on Friday, but me and Dennis both picked the Lakers to go to the final game. But the fact that I thought the Bucks were going to beat the Pacers, but the Pacers ended up beating the Bucks on Thursday to get this game. Right when the Bucks lost that game, I was like, yeah, the Pacers are definitely probably going to get smoked by the Lakers because Lakers just smoked the Pelicans on Thursday night. So right when they smoked the Pelicans, I was like, the experience is definitely going to show. And it did. 100% it did. You bring up Austin Reeves coming off the bench. He's my most improved player prediction for this year. He came off the bench and gave me 28. And you talk about AD, 41 and 20. This is the AD that we're supposed to be seeing. I'm not going to say this is what AD's consistently supposed to be doing, but somewhere around the ranges, the dominance that he showed on Saturday, this is what we're supposed to be seeing the whole time for AD. Not this, oh, my finger hurts, or I can only drop 5 points or less than 10 points and play like a punk on defense. The AD played great. I don't care what no one said. He played really great. But like you said, I agree with it as well. Against these other great big men in the league like Jokic and Embiid, the other big guys that are great in this league. Let's see if you can do that against them as well. Not against, Miles Turner is a top 10 player in his position, but once you got Miles Turner, Obi Toppin. Once you get them in foul trouble, they had to play very conservative against AD, and that's why he dropped 41. And you bring up LeBron, he went crazy too. I mean, he had 24 and 11. This man's about to be 39 years old, and he's still helping carry this Lakers team. Again, like I said, he won the MVP for the tournament. A lot of people said, oh, it should have been AD. He just dropped 41. Listen, the MVP was for the whole tournament, not just for the game. And LeBron rightfully so deserved it. I'm happy that the Lakers won this game. They won the first ever in-season tournament. And a lot of people, of course, they're going to hate. They're going to say it's rigged. Oh, Adam Silver is poster boy LeBron James. Oh, he won the first ever tournament. Of course, it was going to be like this. But let's be real. Like, the Lakers, they cruised their way to this. And they had great wins to win. So now they're going to get a banner. They pop some champagne in the locker room. But I'm happy for LeBron. This adds another accolade to him. I don't think it really counts as a big accolade. It's just another small accolade. But all in all, this game definitely showed you, experience-wise, the Lakers, they can compete. They just got to stay healthy and put it all together against great teams in the NBA. But this is against a very young and experienced team. And again, my bad, I've got to mention Tyrese Halliburton. He's a great young player. This tournament definitely gave him a lot of exposure, like you said, Khalil, because they don't get a lot of national exposure. So the fact that he went crazy on national TV and shows all the player who he is, hopefully he can stay consistent and keep it up. But Tyrese, I mean, we all had him ranked inside our top 10. He's a really good passer. He showed that he could actually score the ball at will as well. I'm not going to say at will. He showed that he could score the ball as well efficiently. But let's see if the Pacers can keep it up and actually do something in the East and hopefully fight for a playoff spot. But all in all, I'm for the in-season tournament continue to go.
Yeah, I think, majorly, like a lot of people say the NBA season don't start till Christmas Day. This gave us some excitement before Christmas, and then Christmas is right around the corner, and then that's when we really dive deep into the NBA season. So it was good for the NBA. I think it's something they should keep around for sure.
Yeah, most definitely. I'm all for it, man. I'm all for it. But hey, we got a lot of basketball left. It's only December. We got about 4 months of basketball left. These last 4 months will be crucial. And I agree with you. NBA, the season don't start until Christmas Day, and we got some great games coming on Christmas. We'll talk about that later on. But that is it for the NBA in-season tournament wrap up finale. Let us know in the comment section what y'all thought about that game. Let us know what y'all think about AD's monster performance. Let us know what y'all think about Tyrese Halliburton put on a show this whole tournament for himself, give himself some exposure. And do y'all think Lakers rightfully so won this NBA in-season tournament? Do y'all think it was rigged at all? Just leave all your thoughts, comments, and opinions all in the comment section below. But ladies and gentlemen, that is it for tonight. That is the end of episode 35 for Before the Horn podcast. Make sure y'all like, comment, share, subscribe. We're going to keep putting these videos out for you guys. Make sure you guys are sharing it, telling friends about it, telling other people about it. Anybody you can tell about it to get us out there more, please do that. We appreciate all the support we've been getting, all the feedback. We love doing this for you guys. We love coming here on this platform and talking to you guys. Also, make sure you guys also check out our Patreon. The link is in the bio. For as little as $2 a month, you guys can help out, support our Patreon. We're going to be coming out with some t-shirts soon, some merchandise. Hopefully, we'll be coming out soon as well. Want to talk to us straight up besides Instagram DMs and get more in tune with us, the Patreon is definitely the way to go. So I'll put that link in the bio.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And keep showing love, keep supporting. Follow us on Instagram at Before the Horn Podcast. Follow us on TikTok at TikTok and Twitter at Before the Horn Pod. We back on this thing every Tuesday and Friday. We missed a couple episodes. A couple of us missed a few episodes as well. Holiday season, birthdays, everything else going on. So, we had a lot going on, but we getting back into the rhythm. We getting back into things. Football season is heating up. Bowl season is here. So there's going to be a lot to talk about. We have a big pay-per-view that's coming a weekend. So there's going to be a lot to talk about. So we're definitely going to be on it, rolling out a lot of new stuff. So definitely be on the lookout for that. Just keep showing love, keep supporting. We appreciate what we've been getting so far. Like I said, at the end of the day, we do this for y'all. And, the people who watch, make sure you tell a friend to tell a friend to tell somebody else, until next time.
Hey, also make sure you guys follow us on our personal Instagrams. They are on the screen as well, down below in the description box. Again, like, comment, share, subscribe. Thank y'all for tuning in to Before the Horn Podcast, episode 35. We'll see y'all on Friday.